Hello and welcome to the fifth installment of Empower Yourself Self-Defense. My name is Elizabeth, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to get out of grabs and chokes. So this video is going to be a little bit different than all the other ones, because all the other videos so far have been talking about specific strikes and how to actually do them, but this video is going to be more about using those strikes and a couple other things that I'm going to teach you to get out of a real life situation where somebody is actually trying to hurt you. One important thing to remember for today is going to be to try and get your opponent off balance, because if you can get your opponent off balance, then you're in control. And if you're in control, you can get away and find help. Another thing to remember is just to look for where their grip is the weakest. So if somebody's choking you or if somebody's grabbing you, always look for where the fingers are and where the actual opening is, because chances are that's where you're going to have to attack or rip your hand away from. So the first grab we're going to talk about is just going to be a simple wrist grab. So if somebody's grabbing your wrist or both of your wrists, the first thing you need to do is take a step back. That's going to get them off balance and it's going to make it easier for you to get away. So once you step back, you have to twist your wrist and pull back at the same time. So twist and pull back. Then you can follow up with a punch, a palm, a kick, or anything else before you run away. So the reason why this works is because where their fingers come together is really weak. If you twist and pull at the same time, it's going to make it easier to get out. The same thing can be done if it's both hands. Just twist and pull. And then once you follow up with a punch or a kick or something else, run. Because if somebody's grabbing you, they probably don't have good intentions. The next grab we're going to talk about is what we call in karate to be the lapel grab. Basically, it's somebody that's grabbing your shirt. So if somebody's grabbing your shirt, first thing you need to do, same as the other one, step back. This gets them off balance again, and it makes it easier for you to get away. Then, because their arms are going to be out like that, you can bring your hands up into their arms, sending it upwards, and releasing their grip on you. You can either do it with your hands closed, go straight up like that, or you can just keep them open, you can put them together, really doesn't matter. Basically, the point is, when you go up with a nice motion, as hard as you can, they're going to let go, and you can get away. But as always, once they let go, you should probably follow up with a punch to slow them down, but that can just as easily be a kick, or a palm, or like a tiger's claw, it doesn't matter. Up next is one of my favorite grabs. It's the bear hug. So if somebody's grabbing you from behind in like a really big hug, and they're holding onto your arms, so you have limited mobility there, it's probably not a good thing. But there's a whole bunch of different things you can actually do to get out of it. First thing you need to do, if they're like constricting your breathing at all, hold your breath. It may sound weird, but if you hold your breath, you're not going to run out of air as quickly, so you're going to actually be able to think for longer, and you won't go unconscious and have a whole bunch of terrible things happen to you. So after that, one thing that you can try is just dropping down. So even if they're grabbing you, just bend your knees, drop your weight, just try to go down. This can loosen their grip on you, it can make them totally just let go altogether, or it can distract them enough for you to punch them. Doesn't matter. Basically, if you can get out, follow up with a strike, run. If that doesn't work, drive an elbow back into their stomach. Even if your arms can't really move all that much, if you elbow them in the stomach, they might let you go. Other than that, another thing you can try, stomp on their foot. It sounds weird, sounds like it wouldn't work, but if you stomp the heel of your foot right onto the top or the instep of their foot, it's going to be pretty surprising. Don't think an attacker would expect you to step on their foot. But it can cause a lot of pain, and I know from experience because one of my karate instructors once stepped on my foot and caused it to hurt for a good month. So step on their foot, might make them let go. If that still doesn't work, if their hands are grasped in front of you, you can run your knuckles right here along the back of their hand. Like you can try it on yourself. It hurts. And if you do that with enough force, that's on their hands. So if they're like grabbing in front, that could surprise them, make them let go. If none of that works, scream. If you can, kick them, like from behind. If you can get them in the groin, you're probably pretty good. If not, you could always bring your head back into their head in a weird sort of backwards headbutt, but nobody likes to get hit in the face, especially not the nose. So now moving on to chokes. The one thing to definitely remember with chokes, I mentioned it briefly with the bear hug, but if somebody's choking you, hold your breath. It does seem weird, but it'll save you. Because if somebody's choking you and you try to gasp for air, you're going to run out of your source of oxygen a lot quicker, and then you're not going to be able to think properly, you'll go unconscious, and then you won't be able to do anything. So hold your breath, and then try to do things as quickly as you can so that you'll get more air soon. So first we're going to start with the front choke, but the front, the back, and the side choke are all really basically the same because it all involves somebody's hands around your neck with their thumbs close to them and choking you, so lack of air. But with the front choke especially, they're grabbing you around the neck and you may not know what to do there, but there's actually several things you can do. You can do the same thing that you did with the lapel grab, which is just straight up. You can actually go straight down too, like if you just do the same thing in reverse, strike with the forearms onto their arms, that can get you out. Or actually my favorite is if their thumbs are right around your neck, like that kind of, you grab the thumbs and you peel them back. Because the thumbs are obviously a lot less strong than the rest of their hands, it can be the weakest part, like I said before. That's often the way to go. So if you take the weakest part of the grab and you rip it away from your throat, you could break their thumbs. Either way, it's going to cause a lot of pain. So the same thing can be done with like a side choke too. So if somebody's hands are like around your side of your neck, like you just go for the thumbs, you can break their thumbs, and then once you're out of their grip, you can breathe again, you can punch them, you can kick them, you can send an elbow into their face. Basically, the options are open after that. And then even with a back choke, so if somebody's standing behind you and choking you from behind, it's still the same hand placement, basically. So you can go for the thumbs again. I mean, a good elbow to the face will go a long way. So if somebody's behind you and you manage to get your elbow behind into their head, that'll work too. Basically with chokes, there's a lot of different things you can do. And you just have to like practice with somebody to figure out what your best options are, what you feel the most comfortable with, and what seems to work for you. So one last type of grab that somebody might try to do is if they wrap their whole arm like around your neck. And in that case, the most important thing to do is just to hold your breath. Like I said before, it helps. It helps a lot. And then from there, you can kind of do the same kind of stuff as like with the bear hug or even with some of the front chokes, or actually back choke. If you elbow them, if you can step on their foot, even if you can bite them, anything you can do to surprise them, but like there's a lot of different things you can do. First thing you should probably try to do after you stop breathing is just drop down. You'd be surprised how many times the simplest ways can get you out. My best advice for all of these though is to just have somebody help you with them. So if you can have somebody grab your wrists and see if you can get out, if you can have somebody bear hug you, just try them all out on somebody, whether it be a friend, a neighbor, a parent, a sibling, anything. Just, it's a lot easier to do any of these techniques if you know how they work in real life. Because, yeah, seeing it on a screen is a lot different than actually doing it yourself. The one thing to just remember for every single grab or choke or anything is to just don't panic. If you stay in control, you have a much better chance of getting out and getting away. So just relax. You can do it. You know what to do, so you can get out of it. So I think that's it for today. So hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you just feel more confident. Like, that's the real goal of this video, just to make people feel more confident with getting out of grabs and chokes. Please practice. Get experience with it before you actually need to use it. And relax, basically. yeah, so the next video is on clubs and knives and defending against all that kind of fun stuff. So until then, stay safe.